Hi folks, this is Vent with Ads Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out 5D chess with multiverse time travel. Oh boy. It's important to stress that what you're looking at here is a preview build, so everything that you're about to see is subject to change. According to Steam, though, the game is due out in about 15 hours as of the date and time of this recording. So, I'll be honest with you folks, I've played for about an hour, and I kind of understand it, but there's some things about it that just aren't clicking for me yet. And with a 5D chess mechanic, I guess that's to be expected. I mean, I do understand the idea of parallel universes slash dimensions. The theory is that anything that can happen does happen across different points or timelines across the space-time continuum. In this game, what you can do is you can take normal moves on your typical chessboard, but you can also send specific units onto, well, I guess back in time to do something different, and that will split itself off into a separate timeline. Do you remember Back to the Future Part 2, where Doc Brown was explaining to Marty on the chalkboard how the timeline skewed into an alternate 1985, and so and so and so and so? Well, that's kind of what's going on here, except certain things just don't make sense. For example, if I click on a bishop and I go and send it back in time, somehow it's able to move forward one space and leave its color. So, I don't know if that's a bug or if that's intended with this particular style of play. It doesn't make much sense to me. And moving the knight backward in time, I was able to move it 2 spaces forward and then have it appear somewhere back in time. I didn't think that was legal, because a knight typically moves in an L-shaped pattern. It moves 2 spaces orthogonally, up, down, left, or right, and then 1 space in the opposite direction of the direction it originally moved. So again, like an L-shaped pattern. Whereas in this game, you move the knight 2 spaces, and then you move it back in time, to the previous turn. So I'm guessing that that last little L-shaped move is replaced by the fact that you're moving through time. So again, there's little things like that I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around. There's also the idea that you can target or attack the king or checkmate the king in the past. And that's not something I fully understand yet. In one of the example games I played, one of the sample games, just to get my feet wet, I kept everything on one timeline. I did not move any pieces back in time. I didn't do any fancy, time swapping, anything like that. I didn't do that. And somehow I still checkmated the king, and it somehow referenced somehow I was attacking the king in the past on the same timeline. Like, that didn't make much sense to me. So I checkmated the king with the standard 4-move checkmate, but somehow I was attacking the king in a prior turn on that same timeline, and yeah. So, I understand chess. I've played in tournaments. I was part of the United States Chess Federation for years in my youth. So I'm not at all, I'm no stranger to chess. I know what I'm doing. And I'm not a grandmaster by any means, but I'm okay at it. I'm pretty decent. So when I play this, I understand the chess concepts, but I don't understand some of the concepts of what this game is trying to accomplish. Again, for example, how does a bishop leave its own color? I could understand if I was moving the bishop diagonally and then I could move it to an alternate timeline by, swapping it with another board or moving it back in time, and that timeline would branch off. But in this game, it's like the bishop seems to be able to have a mind of its own. Just, suddenly it's on it started on a white square, and now it's on a brown square. I don't know how that's even possible, and it's not possible in standard chess. So when I'm moving a piece through time like that can only move diagonally, how does it move off its color? Again, little stuff like that. Now, I don't know if that's a bug or if that's intended. It's just little things like that I don't understand. I'm not discounting this game entirely. I gotta say, it's intriguing. There's not a whole lot of games out there like it. And I love this. I want to see more of it. I just wish I fully understood it. There's plenty of different ways to play this. Like, you can play on a regular chessboard, but you can also play on a very tiny chessboard, a slightly larger chessboard, up from the very tiny. So there's like very tiny, then there's small, then there's standard, then there's different puzzles that you can embark on to get your feet wet. There's pass and play, so the game supports that Steam Remote Play, which is nice. You can just play locally. You can play against the computer across multiple difficulty levels. But once things get really hairy, like I had like 7 or 8 different boards going at once. I'm like, okay, what the heck is going on? My opponent keeps bringing pieces from the one, bringing it back in time to the very beginning where there was only 2 pieces out on the board. Like, my head couldn't I couldn't wrap my head around that. Not completely anyway. So I just want to put that out there. If you're a chess player and, you're not at all familiar with, with parallel universes and all the multiverse and all that jazz, then this may be a little bit too much for you. As a seasoned chess veteran, I'm finding this difficult. Okay, so I can only imagine what a new chess player would feel like. So this is a very niche game, in my opinion. This is a game that, this is a game for chess players that want to branch off to something different. This is not a game that I would play as a beginner. So, I mean, it's hard enough teaching chess on a 2-dimensional plane, or 3-dimensional plane, I guess you want to call it if you're in real life. But, 5D chess, oh my goodness. So, yeah, I mean, I want to learn this. It's cool. It's a great idea. It's just there's a couple of things about it that don't make any sense. If it were me, I would have let the knight, for example, move in its standard L-shaped pattern, and then at its endpoint, then move it through time to a different board. Not have the part of the L move be replaced by the fact that you're moving through time. Or the bishop, how the heck does it leave its color? There's different things like that. Or attacking the king in the past, that is also a bit too much for me. Like, you'll have arrows. It looks like a football John Madden, a play overview of arrows, lines going here, lines going there. Oh, there's a red line, that means the king is being attacked. And I was often, when that happened, and I was on the receiving end of that, I'm like, well, this piece is attacking my king in the past. How do I stop it? And I couldn't figure out how to do it. I kept moving things around. I kept trying different combinations, and I couldn't get out of it. There was a way to do it because I wasn't checkmated. So I wish, like, the game had a hint system. This would stop you from being checkmated, or this would stop you, and here's why. So I think this game needs a better tutorial. There is a rules section that you can read through, but my eyes glossed over in certain parts. So I need someone to sit down and explain this to me. I need videos explaining this to me and my questions answered as things happen. And I think the developer needs to do a better job of explaining the game and those concepts, assuming that there's no bugs. Again, with the whole bishop moving off its color. If that's intended, let me know why. I want to know why. And explain it in the game, because if I have that question, other people are going to have that question, So, 5D chess with multiverse time travel, cool concept, just difficult to play. If you guys haven't already, subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.